Hey guys, what's up? So I wasn't going to talk about 2K24 too much, but the game is almost out and I saw all this. I thought I would break it down as everyone else I've seen talking about the game is just showing off the builder, not really going into depth. And I had to just try to break it down for myself and find out what it all means, and I'm sure many of you want to know too. So, with that being said, I could be wrong about some things, but I think for the most part, I got it down. But take it all with a grain of salt. The first thing I have to explain is the new badge system. It's pretty simple and looks very cool, reminding me a lot of 2K19's badge system, but with a mix of 23. So basically, instead of the finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defending categories we have every year, it's different now. All badges are put into different rankings depending on how useful they are to you and your build. So the new 4 categories are C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. These tiers are a ranking, obviously with C being the worst and S being the best. So now instead of equipping what badges you want with badge points, it seems like we're going to start with all badges that your build's able to get, but only at the bronze level. Now you can upgrade these badges by using them in game normally. If you do use them in a game, the bar will fill up. And while you can fill up the badge progression, you can also lose it. So if you don't use a badge enough in-game, it can lose progress and drop down even a whole level. Go from Hall of Fame to Gold, or Gold to Silver, or Silver to Bronze, or at the same time it can go up so you can have it at Bronze, bring it up to Silver, or bring it up to Gold. What's important though is when we are talking about you can get a badge from Bronze to Hall of Fame, it's only the badges your build's able to get to Hall of Fame. Similar to what other past years were doing, but I just wanted to make that clear so you don't think you can get every single badge Hall of Fame. But if you don't use a badge enough in game, it can lose progress and drop down even a whole level. There's also this white line right here that seems to mark the halfway point. And my guess from this is once you get to the halfway point, you can't fall back down any further than that. You will still get to the half, and if you go any further than the half, you'll drop back down to the half if you don't use the badge. But overall, I think once you make it there, you won't have to worry about dropping all the way back down to 0. I think the badge system is interesting, and it'll allow people to have a lot of badges now. Even if they are low level like Bronze, it's still cool to have badges, especially if we are supposed to be NBA players. We're supposed to have a lot of badges. Even if you go look at the rosters, you can see people with like 80-something badges. I will go over what I think the badges do later, but more importantly, we need to talk about something else. Badge perks are from what I could figure out with the help of Morgan, who you may know from my other videos, or getting me gameplay on twitch.tv/AaronYagerSexual. There are 4 new perks. These 4 perks are Overdrive, Immunity, Drill Savant, and Scholar, which is a Season 1 exclusive perk. Overdrive seems to be pretty clear, and we even got a description, which basically, any badge you have in it will get a boosted badge level progression. Immunity seems to stop badge level progression from dropping, or at least slows it down. Drill Savant, I'm unsure, but my best guess is based on if you use your selected badges more in game, it will give you a boost for their progression level. And finally, the season exclusive perk, Scholar, will change every season. It is a perk that, if you end a game with a good teammate grade, you will once again get boosted badge progression. Now this badge perk will change every season, which is why it says Season 1 on it. So basically, this season it's going to be Scholar, but next season it could be something else, and so on and so on. Overall, the system of badge perks, while it looks kind of complicated, it seems pretty simple. All it really means is each category will require you to do a certain thing in game, and whatever badges you have equipped in that slot will get boost XP towards its badge level. Also, there are 4 badges you can choose to put in each of these. 1 badge from each tier, C, B, A, and S. And the last thing that's important about badges is the trend section. Now there isn't much to go on this, but based on what I said earlier, I think the trends will show how often you use badges in game, as well as how the badge progression will go up and down over the course of games. Now onto the build system. I'll be honest, it seems mostly the same from 23, so not much to talk about here other than the fact that on the right side there are relevant badges and all badges, which relevant badges are the ones you can use on your build, as well as the better badges for your build, and obviously all badges is exactly what it says it is. Like 2K23, if you want a certain badge on Hall of Fame, for example, you have to get a certain rating for it. Like if you want Hall of Fame clamps, you need a 99 perimeter and 60 acceleration. But this is nothing new and overall still pretty similar, with different small changes now that we know how the badge system works. Also, there is a section called Performance Multipliers. It seems what these do are just another way to boost badge progression in another way. making it seem like badges are going to be a focus point for this game in terms of grinding, and honestly, I like it. As long as we don't get the jacked up VC prices like normal, and instead get our overall higher and focus more on badges, I think it would be great. However, we all know 2K loves their microtransactions, so I guess we'll just have to see. Hopefully they listen, especially since last year in 23, VC prices to buy things and upgrade your build were ridiculously high, in which you had to buy VC if you wanted to make progress, which should never happen in a game. You should never have to pay for microtransactions just to progress. It's stupid and it should never be like that. Performance multipliers have 4 sections, so you can use them in NBA, Pro-Am, Rec, or the City. It all works pretty similar to the badge perks, and you can just read the descriptions there on what they do. You also have to unlock them somehow in game, and then you can use them depending on whatever mode you're playing. Now the last thing I want to talk about is what the new badges most likely are, based on what they said and what they look like. The first badge is Bunny. Now, from what I can guess, it's a finishing badge, and it'll probably just allow you to increase your vertical and maybe get better dunks, like jump over defenders, stuff like that. Now, float game is pretty similar to, we've seen it before. It's probably just floater specialist, so it's exactly that, just makes your floaters better. Open looks is a new badge, and it's pretty self-explanatory. When you get open looks, you have more chance of the shot going in. Relay passer seems like you can pass the ball off really fast, like hand it off to your teammate, which again, kind of a useless badge, but there's a reason why you can choose to upgrade certain badges or not. Scooper, which I have no idea, could be with scoop dunks, it could be scooping the ball up off the floor. I'm not really sure, but that's my guess. Spot finder is going to be kind of like hot zone in a way, because if you look up at the floor setters, there's a new section called floor setters. It's going to be kind of like hot zones, and you can set certain things on the floor, which will be your hot zones in a way, and that's kind of where this new badge, Spot Finder, will come in. Touch Passer is another new one, and again, seems kind of like Relay Passer, but you touch the ball, you pass it off really fast. Triple Strike seems like a shooting badge maybe, so maybe once you hit 3 threes in a row, you get a boost, kind of like Green Machine in a way. And there's Whistle, which my only guess for this one is it's most likely you get more stamina back or you do better after a timeout. This is a Dylan badge, just throw that out there. Two-step seems like a finishing badge, and I'm pretty sure what it does is it's just a combination of slithery and acrobat, so better hop steps, reverse layups, stuff like that. Spin cycle, I'm not too sure, but from what I had to guess, it's probably like post-spin technician. 94 feet allows defenders to other ball handlers in the backcourt. Fast feet boost the player's ability to stay in front of defenders, which is kind of like a quick first step, but for defense, which is odd, but you know, I guess we'll see how that goes. Precision Dunker is a badge that improves your ability to make skill dunks, so any type of skill dunk, not that, you know, it's just not a basic one, you'll do better if you have this badge on. Speed Booster speeds up the explosion when attacking from the perimeter, and from what I can guess from this, it's kind of like quick first step. Bulldozer improves your ability to initiate contact and get on the rim in layup attempts. So what I can guess from this, it's most likely Bully. Yeah, I think that's basically it for the badges itself, so I think we're good on that. Before I end off this video though, I do want to talk about a few other things I've seen which aren't as important, not as much in depth, but I just wanted to talk about them because it's a bunch of new things and I think we should just talk about them because it's all new stuff, which is, you know, there. Crossplay is a big thing with this game, and honestly, I think it's something we should have had years ago. So while I am happy that it's there, it's not something I can get too excited for because I would have been excited for this 3 years ago. But, you know, we're getting it now. So that kind of bothers me because we definitely had the technology for it. I mean, look at Fortnite, look at any game out there right now. Most games, even Call of Duty, a lot of games have crossplay. It's a shame, honestly, that 2K's taking so long to add it, but, you know, whatever, I guess. Mamba moments are basically the Jordan Challenge, but for Kobe, and it was just recently his birthday that passed, so happy birthday, Kobe. Victor Wembanyama is an 84 overall, which is like the highest rookie we've ever gotten in 2K, at least in like the past like 5 years, which is crazy. I get he's tall, I do, but I think a lot of people think he's overrated. I think a lot of people think he's really good. So I guess we're just gonna have to see when he actually plays. There's a lot of current gen and next gen beef that, you know, still continues to this day. Honestly, I just play next gen because to me, I have a next gen console, I'm just gonna play next gen, so I don't want to play current gen. If you don't have a next gen console, I understand why you're playing it, but I mean, I think either way, it's just kind of like we should move on from this current gen stuff. And I do understand that a big portion of their fans are still on current gen, especially when a lot of their fans are younger and can't afford like a new console because they have to wait for their parents to buy and stuff like that. So I do understand that. Truly, I do. But in a way, I think current gen is holding us back on next gen because current gen is literally like the same copy and paste game every year, and it's a very like toned down version of next gen all the time, which I know some people would disagree with me on and also say that it's because it's toned down, it feels more like a 2K experience, but I disagree in saying that we need 2K to be a bigger mode and not just this low quality thing that we just accept because, oh, well, it's current gen, so they might as well just take it, and they make so much money off of it. But overall, I'm going to be playing next gen, but that's my thoughts. Also, some of y'all in the comments are wild on the current gen next gen beef. You guys need to chill, okay? Rep is returning, which is really cool. It doesn't reset every season. It's going to be a game-wide thing, so, we're going to see all those sweats grinding to Legend, which I can't wait to see. But it's not called Legend anymore, it's called Top 10, and instead of, Rookie, Pro, All-Star, Superstar, it's not like that anymore. It's Rookie, Starter, Veteran, and Top 10, which is, respectively supposed to be the same thing. I think it's a whatever change, I don't care about the name. As long as Rep's there, I'm fine. And it's cool they changed it, I guess. At least it's different, and it looks new. Adrenaline bars return, which, honestly, I'm not a fan of. I think it takes away from the experience a lot of the times, but adrenaline bars don't affect dribbling anymore. So, like, when you dribble, say you used all your explosive moves, right, and now you have no adrenaline bars, you can still dribble the same way. It's not going to slow down your movement speed and your dribble moves, but what it will do is when you shoot the ball, it will affect your shooting. So, in a way, I think this is good because you're still allowed to create space even when you lose your adrenaline bars, because that way you can still make your other teammates open, or you can get a layup, stuff like that. Height and weight, they seem to be pushing this again, and they've been trying to push this every year. They're trying to make height and weight more important, so the heavier you are and the taller you are, the more dominant you'll be in the paint. But it seems like this game they're really serious about it, and I kind of hope so because I'm tired of seeing 190-pound centers. Like, there's no reason you need to be 7'3", 190 pounds, and you need to eat like a sandwich or something. But if you're a bigger center, then you'll be able to box out people who are smaller way easier than before, which I actually really like, and I think it's really cool. And now this is probably the most controversial thing that I'm going to talk about, and that is the Battle Pass system. So we had season rewards for the past, 3 2Ks now? And so far, no one's really had a problem with them, other than, the rewards kind of sucking. Which, honestly, yeah, they really are horrible. But now we're getting a Fortnite kind of Battle Pass system, which, honestly, I kind of like. And before I get hated on for this, let me explain why. So, you're going to be able to get whatever the basic rewards are, like off-rip, okay? And I think that's cool. But it is nice how in, Fortnite, for example, you're able to buy a Battle Pass and get more things, and that's kind of what they're doing here. And this way we'll get more rewards and stuff. And I think the rewards will be a lot better if they're going to make it in a Battle Pass. However, I do have my own issues with this. While I do think it's a cool idea, I think the biggest issue with this is most likely it's going to cost money. I don't know 100% it will, but I'm at least 85% sure because it's 2K, it's going to cost money. And so the Hall of Fame pass, whatever is in it, honestly, I think it is kind of lame because this means that every season we're going to have to buy a Battle Pass if you want the rewards. But in a way, I think a lot of people don't really care about the rewards sometimes, so it's a good choice. But my issue with this mostly is when you look at games like Fortnite, PUBG, Warzone, yes, they all have Battle Passes, but those games are all free. And then you buy the Battle Pass on top of it, which is like $10, and that's whatever. So most likely this Battle Pass is also going to be like $10, but we already have to pay $70 for the game, $100 if you want the Mamba Edition. If you buy that, you have to remember you're going to have to buy the Battle Pass on top of that, which I think is stupid. I don't think it should be like that. I'm hoping, maybe I'm wrong, and it won't be something you have to pay for. Maybe you have to use VC to buy it, which I guess in a way is kind of directly paying for it because you have to buy it. But I don't know. I hope it's good. It basically, if you don't have the Battle Pass, you're going to have the Pro Pass, and then once you buy the Battle Pass, it's going to be called the Hall of Fame Pass, which is, just a rip from, every other game that's done it, but it's whatever. And the last thing I'll talk about, which isn't really important, but I'll just talk about it because I can, is eras. Eras are returning. We got a LeBron era, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about these changes, what you think about Ronnie and his amazing life decisions. But yeah, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. My name's Tuxedo. Subscribe if you're new, and see you guys in the next one.